Hello everyone, this is 8.3 part 2. We're still working with volume, only this time it is volume of a hemisphere. How do you find the volume of a hemisphere is our key question today. Let's start with some vocabulary. What is a hemisphere? Well, you have to start with a circle. And the hemisphere is just half of that sphere. So it's either the top part or the bottom part of a sphere. A hemisphere is half of a sphere. It could be the top, it could be the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's just half of it. So how do you find the volume? This is probably the most important part of this section. Is our volume formula. Well, all we're going to do is take our sphere, which was 4/3 pi r cubed, and whatever answer we get for the sphere, all we're going to do is divide that by 2. I know that looks ugly, but it's not difficult. So let's take a look at the problem you did yesterday or just now, whenever you did the video. Let's find the volume of a hemisphere with radius equal to 5 feet. So yesterday we saw this. We saw a whole sphere, and the radius from here to here was 5. Well, we're going to do the same work that we did yesterday. Only this time, we only care about half of our answer. So whatever answer you got yesterday, all we're going to do is divide that answer by 2. So let's take a look at that. Let's rewrite our formula. We're going to treat it just like we would if we were finding the area of a sphere, only we are going to divide it by 2. So our radius is 5. Let's go ahead and plug that in. And then we're going to take that answer and divide it by 2. So I'm going to do probably more work than you guys would want to, but just to make sure we get all the steps correctly, we're still following PEMDAS. 5 cubed, that's the same as 5 times 5 times 5. So 4 times pi times 4 times pi times 125. And whatever we get there, we're going to divide this whole thing by 2. So using your calculator, 125 times pi times 4 is 1,570.8, and that whole thing is divided by 3, and then that whole thing is going to be divided by 2. So let's start with this part. Divide that by 3. I'm running out of room over here. So volume, so this whole thing, volume is equal to, this is an arrow by the way, 523.6, I believe. We might have rounded a little different yesterday, but that's okay. And we're going to take that answer and divide it by 2. So we get 261.8. That's our volume of this hemisphere. And this is feet cubed. Go ahead and pause it there. Write any of that down that you need to. And let's take a look at another problem. So on your own, find the volume of a hemisphere Find the volume of a hemisphere with a radius equal to 12 feet. So remember, a hemisphere if the radius was 12, we only want half of it, right? So I'm going to redraw that. A hemisphere would look like this. It's the half of it. Think of a bowl. That's what that is. Okay. And you are done.